Shit! I forgot to put season 1 back up there. I'm going to do it next time. Okay, so we move on to episode 5 of season 1 entitled Cool. So, the meteor freak of the week is Sean. Now, most of the cast, most of the characters, they're at this party when it's cold. Apparently, they're outside of the party, and one of the football players, Sean, again, a character that people act like he's always been there, but it's the first time we've seen him, hits on Chloe. She gives him her number. She gives him her number. And then the guys are playing football. The football players playing football where it lands on the ice. Like a lake or a pond or whatever. And Sean falls through. And he wakes up the night, falls through. It happens to be Crater Lake, where all the where there are a bunch of meteor rocks in there, and he wakes up he gets out the next day, and and he's basically a frozen, walking, talking dude. Now, I just thought of this. He goes to get the football and falls in the ice, and never comes back to the rest of the football players with the ball or anything. And then when he gets out the next day, there's no one there. They never show anyone looking for him or anything. And then he shows up to school, he's just fine. Okay. And they show him, there's still a fire going, I guess. That's the fire going, I don't know. He goes like this, and he freezes the fire, which is enough to get him to school. They're looking fine, but then even when he takes human heat, body heat from humans, he doesn't last that long. So I don't, unless he was sucking up other heat along the way, but we don't see that. And, of course, it ends up he's going after Chloe, and that's the main plot. There's a couple other side plots. One has Lex trying to pitch him buying their farm, I think, to help them with, money things, they're in the red. The other one concerns Clark's not date with Lana. They all end up getting intertwined anyway, as Clark and Lana's date is ruined by a news broadcast about Sean being wanted for the murder of one of their classmates. So Clark immediately stops the date to go find Chloe, and he ends up saving Chloe in the end from Sean. But Sean's not taken care of yet. When he shows up at the beanery and offers to take, Lana home, and gives Pete and his date / not date the limo. And there's questioning, the jealous boyfriend asks why she had a limo, and she tells him that went with Clark and they were just friends. Then Sean appears in the middle of the road and causes them to go off the road, and Lana to sprain her ankle. Whitney eventually carries her to Lex's mansion, which I guess is near there, and Clark shows up just to time to be sucked. I almost said sucked off by Sean. That's wrong. To be frozen by Sean, even though it doesn't last so long. And I'm sitting there going, it shouldn't even have affected him. We've seen it other times. I think there was energy sucking character later that doesn't, suck much out of him. There was an age sucking. I don't know. But it shouldn't have done anything, but it froze him for a short amount of time. Then he comes to the rescue, And the episode kind of, we close up all these 3 different plot lines with Jonathan taking out a loan instead of, taking Lex up on his offer. This presents a problem. I attribute Lex's turn to the bad side, part of it at least, because of Jonathan Kent. Jonathan Kent is constantly pushing Lex away because of his father. As much as he says it's not, it's because of his father. And we'll get to that later because they explain it. He keeps pushing Lex away. As much as Clark wants to maintain his friendship in the further seasons, stuff happens, and Lex does do some questionable things, but they're not always bad. Like, one of the things is in the previous episode I forgot to mention this, there's a man named Roger Nixon who basically bribes Lex due to something that happened at Club Zero. We'll get to that later in the season. And, but Lex gets back at him because of his money and his means, and basically turns the blackmail around and has him start investigating what really happened with Clark when he saved his life. Now, wouldn't you want to know exactly what happened? They paint this as a bad thing when it gets revealed, but it's sort of a bad thing and sort of not, because wouldn't you want to know exactly what happened? And you got the money and the power to do something about it. Wouldn't you want to do everything you can to figure out what happened? I mean, come on. I've always sort of been on Lex's side about this. Yeah, it's not right to try to, hire someone to follow him around or whatever, but wouldn't you want to know? But, I attribute part of Lex's turn to the fact that no one trusted him because of what his father did. That like there was trust issues because of who his father was. And, whoever the father is not necessarily going to attribute to what the son is going to become. You know what I mean? Just because the father was an asshole doesn't mean the son's going to become an asshole. I mean, we know that Lex Luthor is destined to become a villain. But, perhaps that could have been prevented in this timeline. Who knows? And there's other wrap-ups with Clark talking to Lana. Now, one of the things I was confused about is, why didn't he tell Lana what was going on? He said, stop the car, and he said, I gotta go, it's very important, I'll be back. Why couldn't he say, Chloe was supposed to meet up with Sean, and I gotta go do something about it? Maybe because she might want to go with him, who knows, but, you could have said something. She even gets it back, sort of, where, he asked what she told Whitney, and she says, the truth. And I went, ooh. Yeah. And that's basically the wrap up of the episode. Music plays. But yeah, decent episode, not too bad. Cool. Name of the episode. So, yeah, we'll move on to the next one. See you. Like, share, subscribe, please.